across WA. This is Spirit Drive with Matt. Thanks to Chandler McLeod Group, your mining and resources recruitment specialists. Many vacancies apply today. cmgjobs.com.au.
The Chandler McLeod Group right across WA. This is Spirit Drive, and we are truly excited to have this next guest on the show. Sadly, Kamal couldn't be with us. So instead, a bloke who's made you laugh at one stage weekly, but now it's daily for over 20 years, from Rove Live to The Project, Before the Game to It's a Date. And 2018 is set to be a bumpy year with the new series of Cram on Channel 10 and his new stand-up show Big Boy Pants coming to Perth this weekend. WA, please welcome Peter Helliar. Welcome to Spirit Drive.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm disappointed Kamal couldn't make it either. It's a little bit heartbreaking.
It's a little sad for all of us. We're going to get through this together. But, mate, but before we continue, can you please give us your best Christopher pun?
All right, here we go.
Excellent.
Christopher pun. There we go.
Where did that even come from? Were you just kind of mimicking one of his mannerisms?
Oh, yeah, I just kind of... like the way I love the way he goes about it. He kind of feels like he's like almost a Bond villain, you know. And I don't know. Just during one of our meetings, I started kind of saying it. I got a chuckle, and then I said it on air, and then people started responding to it, and people started sending videos of their kids doing it. So yeah, it was born out of that really, and then it just kind of got more exaggerated the more he came, and he'll come on and I just do it in front of him, so it wasn't as if it was behind his back or anything, and he quite enjoyed it. He reckons he's thanked me for increasing his popularity, which was never the intention, I have to say.
That's fantastic. I love the fact that little kids are getting involved too. That's really, really cool, and I'm glad that he's also getting in on the joke as well. Yeah,
absolutely. It's actually. And I always put politics aside, but when he's in our meeting, he's done the show, like the full show with us, and he would come to the meeting, and he's actually really good company. He's really funny, and I quite enjoy having him on the show.
Excellent. Well, now, you've got the new TV show Cram for Channel 10. Meanwhile, Hughesy as well debuted his new Channel 10 show last night. And as we all know too, you took his spot on the project desk, and he likes to bring up the fact that the show is reigning in gold logies, or in your case, golden gay times, ever since he left. Is there a little animosity or friendly rivalry between you two?
No, I'd like to say there absolutely was. Besides the seething contemporary, I think we're on pretty good terms. No, he's one of my oldest friends in stand-up. Probably Rove and Merrick Watson and probably Hughesy are my oldest friends in this caper, and he's a really good sounding board. We often chat about where our careers are heading, and I've said it for years and years, mate. Where's your TV show? Where's the show with you in the title? And he's always like, "Yeah, no, I gotta get onto it." And so I was really thrilled when he got when I heard about the show, and then to see it last night. I thought it was an absolute ripper.
Well, I hear mixed reports all the time about comedians hating each other behind their backs rather than being supportive. We know the massive Leno-Letterman feud. Even British comedian Michael McIntyre is quoted as saying, "Those who accuse me of playing safe are doing everything except make people laugh." So what's it really, really like for you, I guess, when you look into the comedian circle?
Yeah, it does seem to be a bit more of a thing overseas, this kind of, rivalries and kind of public spats and various things. I personally find it, and listen, you might ask different comedians and they may have different answers, and I've been very lucky, and I mean, I know I've worked hard and got the opportunities, but I think it's a really good community, the stand-up scene, and I think there is a respect amongst the comedians, because it's a very small club, people who have succeeded at this caper, to be honest, and so there is a respect with everyone, even if you don't necessarily find their material absolutely to your taste, but there's always a respect, there's no doubt about it, and I think it's a pretty supportive community. I want the stand-up and the comedy scene in Australia to be as strong as it can be. So I welcome the new the new fresh comics and coming through and making the scene better. So I try to reach out to as many comics as I can when I see their stuff that I like, and just know that I really like it. And that's pretty. I think it's pretty sportive. There's very little blood involved.
One of Australia's favourite comics, Peter Helliar, is joining us this hour on Spirit Drive. Back soon. Across WA, thanks to Chandler McLeod, this is Spirit Drive, and I'm joined by much-loved Australian comedian Peter Helliar this hour. Now, mate, we do see your weeknights on the project, which I think was a bloody good choice, because, we haven't really seen someone cracking jokes on free-to-air television on a nightly basis, probably since Vizard. How long does it take you to prepare each night, and are you usually 100% clued up on what's going on in the world?
Oh, no. No, I'm closer to about 12%. I sit at the kids' table at the end of the desk and...
play with the crayons.
Yeah, exactly right. And, one of the moments I hate the most is when we're discussing a serious story and Carrie or Waleed turn to me and say, what do you think about this, Pete?
And you look like a stunned mullet.
Exactly. I'm just waiting to throw to a YouTube clip. That's what I'm doing there. No, it's a great gig. I roll in about 2:00 and start meetings, and then trying to get across as many stories as I can, and then trying to write some gags and work out what vision I'm going to throw to, and what interviews we have, and I don't think about it too much before I get in. I don't, I try to keep it fresh. I don't. When I'm in the meetings, I'm only really half listening. So there's always some nice surprises during the show. I'm like, I didn't know that was part of that story. So, which is nice because it's a live show. We do it live each night. Part of my job, I think, is to be a little bit like the audience in a way, like not necessarily hearing it for the first time, but just asking questions that the audience might ask.
Is that a bit like what you were like at school? Were you the one that used to copy the notes from the smart kid, or do you always been the class clown?
As Jerry Seinfeld said, he was not the class clown; he was the class comedian. And I think I do relate to that. I wasn't a disruptor necessarily. I kind of knew when the time was right to get a gag in, and when the time was perhaps not right. And so I always had a pretty a good relationship with our teachers. But I still managed to my favourite teacher was our politics teacher in Year 11, Mr. Smith, who had a rule. He said anyone can do a joke at any point in our class as long as it's funny, and if it's not, if you interrupt and it's not funny, you get kicked out of the class. And if it is funny, we all laugh, and then you can stay and we get on with the class.
Fantastic introduction there. Well, back with the project too, you've got a new team member in Lisa Wilkinson on the desk now. How is it all going? Because I hear there were a couple of technical hiccups on her first show, but she kept on going like a true pro.
Everything was running so smoothly. She got her head around the way we do things, and it's a bit of a different way. I think the project do things as some other shows do. She got across the rundown and the camera moves and all that. We had a little bit of a rehearsal, and then and it's just I think in a really good place and looking forward to it. We were there for her, supporting her, and we were 5 seconds out from air, and her earpiece. We all wear earpieces, so our directors could tell us when to shut up and move on. And it started going into static, and she kind of let the audio people know, but there wasn't enough time to fix it. So she did the entire first segment with basically static in her ear. So it's basically just our way of saying welcome to Channel 10.
Yeah, pretty yes. Stellar year online, that's for sure. Back to you, mate. With variety shows and game shows under your belt, are you subconsciously attempting to be the millennial Daryl Summers?
As long as everybody stands on their marks when they come out.
You got the drums by any chance?
No, I've got to learn drums. I'm no good on the drums, so there's already a few marks against me. I mean, Daryl had obviously a fantastic career, and but you want to kind of carve out your own niche, and I'm really enjoy doing the writing, and I want to develop more projects. We're shooting a sitcom in the middle of the year, which I'm working on at the moment, and that's fun, and the kids' books are going great, and the second one comes out on March 1, Frankie Fish and the Great Wall of Chaos. And, that's, there are a couple of things I'm pretty much focused on at the moment, as well as obviously Big Boy Pants.
Stick around, Pete. We've got plenty more to talk about. Peter Helliar on Spirit Drive. Back after this. Peter Helliar is coming to WA this weekend for Fringe World, and he joins us right now on Spirit Drive. Let's quickly bring up your old mate, Brian Strawn. I saw he got some global attention thanks to the Philadelphia 76ers and young Aussie Ben Simmons. Don't tell me Strawny's going to be leaving Collingwood anytime soon.
Well, I'm not sure if he's at Collingwood anymore. I think he's. He may be loitering around there, but
free agent.
He's gone a little bit AWOL, Strawny. So Ben Simmons knows talent when he sees it. So he put it out there. When you come join the 76ers. So I think there's contract talks going on as we speak, and who knows? Watch your space. Big
Boy Pants. What will you be bringing to the show, and why the name?
Yeah, Big Boy Pants is kind of. I guess reflective of needing to make some big boy decisions and put your big boy pants on, and which I've had to do recently. I had a vasectomy late last year, and that was probably the biggest big boy pants decision, which also involved taking the big boy pants off momentarily. But it was interesting when I mentioned to people that I had a vasectomy. All of a sudden, it became like a press conference. People were kind of quite curious as to how it all works and what are the ramifications. And,
if I remember, at one stage there was a live vasectomy on a Rove Live episode.
Oh,
back in the day.
I vague recollection of that. I know when I did radio, we had our newsreader have a vasectomy as he read the news.
Oh no!
And he barely missed a beat. You heard a little bit of and the Perth Scorchers will. But that's all it was. It was quite, and he kind of, got on with it. I took the other option. I got knocked out, and basically was on pain medication for the rest of the day with frozen peas on the old beanbag. Yeah.
Well, obviously you're going to be coming to WA this weekend for Fringe World. Is it pretty much an in and out trip to the state, or are you going to get a little bit of time to explore?
Well, I'm there for 3 days, which is nice. I'm there for an entire week. Get in there on Friday and get the red eye back on Sunday night. So I will have some time. I do love coming to Perth. It's one of those places I always say to people: you get to Perth, as soon as you leave the airport, you just feel relaxed as soon as you get there. And I'm looking forward to that. There's some other comics in town, of course, for Fringe. So we'll catch up with them and. There's always great spots to go for lunch and no doubt after show drinks. So can't wait. It's the first time I've ever premiered a show in Perth. For all those people who say you don't get stuff and you don't get stuff first,
tides are changing.
I've listened and
excellent.
And I'm coming to you first, so get behind it and grab your tickets Friday, Saturday, Sunday night.
If you bring Strawny as well, let him go to Rottnest Island. I think you could get more likes with a quokka selfie than Federer or Jackman. I think you could make that happen.
Well, as long as Strawny doesn't start playing quokka soccer, then...
yes. Then you won't be leaving Western Australia.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, of course, Fringe World audiences, they're pumped to see you this weekend. The Heath Ledger Theatre this Friday, Saturday and Sunday. You can grab your tickets right now, comedy.com.au. Aussie comedy treasure, Peter Helliar, all the best for the weekend. I've thoroughly enjoyed chatting with you today. Thanks again for joining us.
Thanks so much, mate. Always a pleasure.
That's Peter Helliar on Spirit Drive. Back soon.